हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी। दंडवत प्रणाम। जय श्री प्रभुपाद।
माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम। जय श्रील प्रभुपाद। हरे
हरे
कृष्ण।
कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी दंडवत प्रणाम।
दंडवत प्रणाम प्रवीण माता जी। हरे कृष्ण। Okay, so we will resume Shrimad Bhagavatam discussion, chapter 14. We can begin now. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। जयतो शुरतो पङ्गोर्मम मन्दामतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वापदाम्भोजौ राधा मदनमोहनौ दिव्यार्वृन्दारण्यकल्पाद्रुमादा श्रीमद्रत्नागरसिंहासनस्थो श्रीमद् राधा शीलगोविन्ददेवौ प्रेष्ठालिभिः सेव्यमानौ स्मरामि। श्रीमन् रासरसारम्भी वंशीवता ततस्थिता कर्षणवेणु स्वनिर्गोपी गोपीनाथा श्रीयेष्टुनाम्। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। We are discussing Shrimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 14, the disappearance of Lord Krishna. The last to last week, Chapter 13, was the departure of Dhritarashtra. We discussed. Vidura returns home. He returns home only for the purpose of delivering Dhritarashtra. Very strong words used by Narada Muni, used by Vidura to Dhritarashtra, like you are like a household dog eating from the hand of Bhima. कुत्ते की तरह भीम के हाथ से खाना खा रहे हैं बैठे बैठे घर पे. So that was like sufficient uh, hit to Dhritarashtra's intelligence. And then he quit home. Gandhari followed him along with Vidura. Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he got up, he came and he saw everyone is missing. Gandhari is not there, Dhritarashtra is not there, Vidura is not there. He started lamenting. In the natural humility of Yudhishthira Maharaj, he thought, because of my offenses, um, um, Dhritarashtra, he has left home. I am feeling very unprotected throughout my childhood. I have been carefully protected by Vidura and Dhritarashtra. That was the natural humility and the non-fault finding nature of Maharaj Yudhishthira. Because practically there were so many ways Dhritarashtra and his son Duryodhan they tried to kill them, and they never wanted, and that's what Dhritarashtra wanted from the Mahabharata war, is to kill Yudhishthira and all the four brothers. But it is said that when we are pure, we cannot see fault in others. And that's why Yudhishthira Maharaj, or like Saraswati Thakur says, whatever fault we see in others is the fault which is present within us. We see we see us in others. Yudhishthira Maharaj could not see any fault in Dhritarashtra, and then he became very morose, and then naturally Dhritarashtra's confidential servant was Sanjaya, who spoke Bhagavad Gita. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj went to Sanjaya, and Sanjaya was also lamenting and morose. Sanjaya said, I have been cheated by these great journals. Prabhupada says that cheating is allowed. That cheating for the sake of self-realization is allowed. They went, it is said, I have been cheated because I have served my masters throughout my life, and without even telling me, they left. So Prabhupada says that is all right because it was for the sake of self-realization. And then as Yudhishthira Maharaj and Sanjay were lamenting, that time Narad Muni came, and Narad Muni enlightened Maharaj Yudhishthira. Maharaj Yudhishthira said, you know everything, past, present, future. Please show me the destination, or show me where my uncles are and my aunt, where they are. Then Narad Muni told them, do not think that they cannot be protected unless you give your protection to them. Everyone is being maintained by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And how can anyone who is controlled by the time, who is controlled by when the body is temporary, when the body is made up of five material elements, and who is controlled by time, how can such a person whose stay himself is not permanent, how can he offer protection to anybody else? Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only one who provides protection. And just like the straws of grasses, they come and they separate. Likewise, by the arrangement of the Lord, the living entities come together, bound in a particular relationship, and then separate, never to meet again. All relationships in this world are like that. They are temporary by nature. And then finally, Narad Muni told Maharaj Yudhishthira where they are. They went towards the north, toward the Himalayas. And fourth day from now, Dhritarashtra will attain perfection, yoga perfection in impersonal Brahman, and he will burn his body, and Gandhari will enter into the fire, and Vidura will continue walking. And later on, we will see Bhagavatam describes Vidura also leaves his body at Prabhas Kshetra, where Krishna left the body. Vidura also leaves his body there, and he joins the post of Yamaraj. And Narad Muni also told Maharaj Yudhishthir that stay and continue your service on this planet as long as mm, Krishna is there on the planet. And when Narad Muni left, then Yudhishthir Maharaj got a concern that so Krishna is going to leave, and that was the anxiety. And in the meantime, Arjuna went to um, Dwarka. Yudhishthira Maharaj sent Arjuna to Dwarka to get the news about Krishna. Arjuna was dearmost friend of Krishna. He wanted to meet with Krishna. He wanted to meet his own brothers, other brothers, because um, Arjuna and Krishna are cousins. Vasudev and Kunti are sisters. Vasudev and Kunti. So Vasudev's son was Krishna and Kunti's son is Arjuna. And they are real sisters, Vasudeva and Kunti, and that's how they are brothers. And it's like like in India, many of us used to go towards our ancestral homes. So for Arjuna, Dwarka is the ancestral home. Mm. His motherly grandfather and grandmother and all his cousin brothers. So they have a very very close relationship with Dwarka, and they all are here ruling Hastinapur. So Yudhishthira Maharaj asked Arjuna that you should go and see how is our motherly uh, ancestors, how is Krishna, how are Yadus. They all are family members. So one was to meet with Yadus, one was to get the news about Krishna. And many months passed, and Arjuna did not return. And here, Yudhishthira Maharaj, he was feeling great anxiety in his heart. He saw that everything start to degrade, and he saw, like we will see in more detail now, um, but he saw strong wind. The sunlight is not giving sufficient sun. It was dark and gloomy. The seasons were irregular because many months have passed. In summer, suddenly, few days of huge winter will come, and in winter, summer will come, and the spring and rainy season. The nature was very irregular. People were becoming violent. People will even beat and fight with their own family members. They started stealing somebody else's money out of greed, and they started cheating, speaking lies, using adharmic, foul means for their livelihood. And the whole environment, it was a lot of signs of inauspiciousness. And when Yudhishthira Maharaj was observing, and he was thinking Krishna would return, Arjuna would return in a month. Maximum people go to their mother's home. They come back in a month or two. It's been 7 months, and Arjuna has not returned. And with all this inauspicious signs, Maharaj Yudhishthira became very much concerned. So Yudhishthira Maharaj went to Bhima, his younger brother, and he told Bhima, Bhima, do you see what is happening in our kingdom? Um, I have a fear that maybe the Lord, whose lotus feet are mother, whose lotus feet were the decorations for Mother Earth. I have a fear that he may have left his earthly pastimes. And then Maharaj Yudhishthir expresses gratitude towards Krishna. Whatever we are is because of Lord Krishna. Our lives, we owe our lives to Lord Krishna, because otherwise we would have been either exposed in the kingdom of Virat or killed in the battlefield. So many places they were destined to be killed, but then Krishna gave protection. The war was very, only Krishna actually protected all five brothers. It was Krishna's desire. Our and we there is no means by which we could have got the kingdom. Now we are the kings. Our kingdom is given by Krishna. We are alive Our lives are given by Krishna. Our families are given by Krishna. Subhadra got married to Arjuna. Draupadi got married, and when Kunti Devi said, "You can share whatever you have among five brothers," Draupadi was very unhappy. And then she consulted from Krishna, and Krishna said, that was destiny. And Kunti Maharani was the instrument, and you should do it. And she said, but then people will speak infamy. We hear about husbands having many wives that time, but we never hear about wife having many husbands. That is the only case we see in the history. And many concerns Draupadi has. It's nowhere scriptures refers to that. And Krishna says, don't worry, you will be glorious independent of the situation. And then because Draupadi would do whatever Krishna would say. And same with all the Pandavas also. So our wives are given by Krishna, our family are given by Krishna, our kingdom is given by Krishna, our lives is given by Krishna, the citizens are given by Krishna. Because Krishna gave the kingdom, so they have citizens. Otherwise, they were just running here and there under the um, tyrant um, uh, uh, kingship of Duryodhana and Dhritarashtra. Our victory was given by Krishna. Our next higher destination will be given by Krishna. And then he also repeated that how Narad Muni has said there was already a lot of concern because Narad Muni said when Krishna departs, you all can take leave from your duties. And there was a hint there also that Krishna may depart soon. And actually, by that time, Krishna has already departed. There were seeing the miseries that were um, um, or excessive heat, excessive rain, no food for the citizens. It is said there was famine. Everybody was becoming diseased. Everybody was becoming angry. Everybody mentally and physically was going through a lot of pain. Yudhishthira Maharaj, seeing that dark, gloomy environment, his heart was palpitating or trembling out of fear. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj says, just look, Bhima, that the jackals are howling at the sunrise and vomiting fires. There are some signs of omens with bad signs given that was creating a lot of fear. Usually jackals, they um, howl at the night, but at the sunrise only they are howling, and from their mouth they're vomiting fire. Um, the cows are passing by the left. It was very interesting to read. So generally, if the cow passes by the right, it is considered natural. But if cow overtakes you from the left side, means it's very inauspicious. The asses are circumambulating. The horses are weeping. The dogs have become fearless. Usually, the dog when they bark, uh, they have some fear. They bark as if they are fearless, but dogs are always very fearful animal actually. But he actually he retreats to see what the reaction of the master will be, or common people will be. But dogs have become very fearless, continuously barking. The calves are refusing to suck the milk of mother cows. The cows have refused to stop giving any milk to the citizens. The bulls do not take pleasure in pasturing the grounds. The pigeons, who are the messenger of death, are visible everywhere in the kingdom. The sharp uh, noise created by the owls and the crows is trembling my heart in fear. So there was like Rishi Maharaj is talking to Bhima as all the signs were there. All the people are fighting, and it's very um, all the sound that was coming from the crows are very angry and very sharp uh, sound they are creating along with the owls. The sky was filled with smoke. The wind was very violent, as if you don't hold yourself against something, you will be taken away by the wind. From the clouds, the rain is red in color in the form of blood. So blood is falling from the sky. The sun rays, they are slowly declining as if the end of the universe has come. The stars appear to be very angry and fighting amongst each other. Living entity are very ignited, fearful, um, fighting, stealing, cheating, greedy, um, confused. All the rivers, ponds, tributaries, lakes, all the reservoirs of water were very agitated and perturbed, and everybody's minds was also in great anxiety. The deities who were in the temple seemed to be crying, perspiring, and lamenting, and the deities are desiring to leave. Sometimes, especially pure devotees, when they see the deities, they see a lot of emotions. Srila Prabhupada also, when he one time he went to the temple, he saw the deities were very tired. He felt deities were very tired. So he asked the temple president there, are they getting sufficient rest, Radha Krishna? Then they said, then the president said, Srila Prabhupada, actually, we go out whole night till 2 a.m. because we have lot of nightlife in the city. In it was a metropolitan city. A lot of people are out in late nights in the bars and the clubs. So we go out to distribute them books. And by the time we come back, it's almost 2 a.m. and nobody, all of us go together, all the brahmacharis, and nobody has strength to wake up for the morning program. So we wake up the Lord at 2 a.m. and we do Mangal Arati at 2 a.m. So Prabhupada says this is not acceptable. The Lord must be given sufficient rest. You can perform austerity, but we don't make the Lord do any austerities. Lord is the master and we are the servants. The servant can stretch, but the Lord must be given all the comfort, and that is a symptom of love. So Prabhupada could see, he could feel, and Yudhishthira Maharaj showed to Bhima how the deities seemed to be crying, lamenting, perspiring, and they wanted to leave. The whole environment was very sad and dull. The gardens, the villages, the cities, all the marketplaces, everything was, um, all the signs of ill omens were there. And Shimara says that they all indicate a great loss. Seems like the world has lost its only good fortune, and that was the marking of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna on Mother Earth. And as Yudhishthira Maharaj was conversing to Bhima about these symptoms, Arjuna arrived. It was 7 months. Arjuna arrived, and Arjuna was very um, uh, depressed, dejected, sad. His head was down, and tears was gliding from his lotus eyes. He was looking down like this, and he was profusely crying. And by seeing Yudhishthira Maharaj was already in great anxiety, and when he saw this condition of Arjuna on his return after 7 months from Dwarka, Yudhishthira Maharaj became very, very afraid. Yudhishthira Maharaj, the first thing he asked or he told Bhima is, seems like the Supreme Personality of Godhead has departed. And the last thing, as he was telling, this they all indicate great loss. Seems like the world has lost its good fortune of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. But Yudhishthira Maharaj was so fearful of asking about Krishna, so he did not ask about Krishna directly. So the rest of the conversation is Maharaj Yudhishthira and Arjuna. And Arjuna was very depressed because of various reasons that we will see when Arjuna starts speaking in the next chapter. But this chapter ends with Yudhishthira Maharaj then started questioning Arjuna. He says, are our friends and relatives of Yadu dynasty, are they happy? Are our relatives, are our friends, the Yadus, are they happy? Now, everything, what Yudhishthira Maharaj really wanted to know is Krishna there? That's all he's concerned about. But he cannot ask because what if the answer is no? then he may not be able to take it. So he's asking is how are the Yadus? How is our grandfather Surasena, Vasudev, and brother Surasena had many brothers. Surasena is the grandfather of Krishna and the grandfather of um, Arjuna also, Surasena. And he Surasena has many sons. Vasudeva was one of them, and there were many other brothers. They all were like uh, mama in India, maternal uncles. How is Surasena? How is Vasudev? How are all the brothers of Vasudev? How are they doing? Everybody, um, the whole Dwarka by now is submerged. The whole Dwarka is removed from Mother Earth. Um, what to speak about all the Yadus and all the relatives. So how is Surasena? How is Vasudev? How are others? How about our aunts, which includes Rohini Devi, Devaki, and it is described that Vasudev had 12 wives. They all were like ants. How are they all doing? How are their sons and daughters in law? Are they all happy? Now, when Rishi Maharaj is saying sons, of course, there are many sons, because from each wife, Vasudev has many children. From Devaki, Vasudev has Krishna. From Rohini, Vasudev has Balaram. And from other queens, there was Gada and there were many others. Um, there's Uddhav also. Um, all were cousins. So how is our aunt? How is Vasudev, Surasena, Vasudev brother, Vasudev wife, son and daughter-in-law? Daughter-in-law includes all the queens of Dwarka. Mm, Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati, Kalindi, all of them are included. So how are they all doing? How is Ugrasena, who was the king? How is Kritavarma, Akrura? Akrura was the minister. Gada was the cousin brother of Krishna. How is Balaram? Are they all doing well? How is Pradyumna? Pradyumna was the son of Krishna and Rukmini. How is Aniruddha? Aniruddha was the son of Pradyumna. Lord Krishna has 10 sons from all 16,108 queens. 10 sons from each, that makes it 16,108 into 10, 160,108. And each of them has 10 sons. That becomes um, 1600,000. 1600,000. 1.6 million. That was only Krishna's sons and grandsons. And what to speak about and then it was a big family. They all were there. Um, Balram has his own wife, um, Balram children, and then from others. It was whole Yadu dynasty was very big. Mm. How are all the sons of Lord Krishna? How are all the grandsons of Lord Krishna? How is Uddhava? How is Shrutadev? Uddhava was alive, but he was on his way to um, Badrikashram as instructed by Lord Krishna. How is and by now, I mean, this is long after Uddhava is already met with Vidura, and by now he is already taking association of the sages in Badrikashram and giving his association to them. So all these questions Yudhishthira Maharaj asks, but he does not directly ask about how is Krishna, because he really doesn't want to listen, because the signs are sufficient. And it is also, we know that Krishna is sitting in the heart of all living entities. So Krishna has already given the indication. Through the signs only Maharaj Yudhishthira understood Krishna has departed. But Yudhishthira Maharaj has no guts to ask, and he's delaying. He's asking all kind of questions when he is actually interested to ask about is Krishna still there. We see that Vyasadeva, when he wrote many Vedic scriptures, he was feeling unsatisfied. He wrote Mahabharata, he wrote Puranas, he wrote the Vedanta Sutras, he wrote the Upanishads, he wrote so many scriptures, but he was feeling unsatisfied. And he was thinking, I'm following all the rules and regulations as prescribed in the Vedas. Then why I'm feeling so empty and so unsatisfied in my heart? And Vyasadeva himself thought in his heart, maybe I have not uh, glorified the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's why. And right then, Narad Muni appeared. And then there is a whole discussion we discussed how he clarified that. Because the Lord is not specifically glorified, that's why you are unhappy in your heart. Happiness comes by keeping Krishna in the center, and emptiness comes by seeing the world in a disconnected way from Krishna. So the Lord guided Vyasadeva, Lord guided Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj knows, but he doesn't want to hear the truth because he knows the truth in his heart. And on the top of all these things, Arjuna is crying. For a man like Arjuna, with the head down and tears coming from his face, it means a lot. He is not a young boy. He is a very grown-up man with many wives and children. Um, best archer on the planet. So then Yudhishthira Maharaj, when he further saw that Arjuna is continuously crying, Arjuna is throughout as Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking, Arjuna is not speaking a word. Otherwise, one question asked, Arjuna would speak, but question and he is just profusely crying. Because all the names that are spoken remains only the names now. Um, and this has further increased the anxiety and seeing Arjuna's situation. And Maharaj Yudhishthira said, he gave 10 causes of dejection, 10 reasons why a person may feel dejected. And one by one, Yudhishthira Maharaj spoke all 10 of them. And he's asking Arjuna, why people become dejected, depressed, distressed? Because of one of these 10 reasons. So Yudhishthira Maharaj asked him, is your health all right? You seem to have lost all bodily luster. After Krishna's disappearance, Arjuna lost all his, like temporarily. He lost his intelligence. He lost everything. His luster also. He became ignorant. But we will see next chapter. We will see Arjuna regains his intelligence by remembering the instruction Krishna gave in Bhagavad Gita. When Arjuna remembered that, and he was always, and later on, Arjuna remembers Krishna says, while you are in this world, always think about me. Become my devotee, pay your obeisances unto me, and in this way you will come to me. You will come to me. You will come to me. And when Arjuna was remembering these instructions, was reverberating, give up all variety of religion, just surrender unto me. Always glorify me, and you will come to me. You will come to me. You will come to me. And that's how he gained his intelligence, because Arjuna could not think of life without Krishna. And this repeated instruction, you will come to me, you will come to me, gave Arjuna hope that I will rejoin Krishna. And then we will see that the next chapter is actually Pandavas retire timely. Means as soon as this whole scene is over and Arjuna speaks, that will happen in the next chapter. Then they all retire and they depart from this world also. And then comes the how Parikshit Maharaj takes over the kingdom and how he rules the kingdom, and then how he was also cursed, and then the appearance of Sukadeva Goswami. So going in a very systematic manner. So Yudhishthira Maharaj gives her 10 causes of dejection. He says, is your health all right? Then were you disrespected or neglected due to long stay in Dwarka? Yudhishthira Maharaj says, usually if somebody goes somewhere for a long place and for a long time, then they're not respected that much because there is a familiarity that develops. So Yudhishthira Maharaj is asking Arjuna, were you disrespected or neglected? Initially, they may respect you very much, but then they will become busy in their own life. And then they may start neglecting you just because they become very busy. Also, it reminds me of Jesus Christ, who says, a preacher is not respected in his hometown. Jesus Christ said that. So he asked, were you disrespected or neglected due to your long stay in Dwarka? Then third reason he gave, were you addressed with unfriendly words? Did somebody speak to you? That also can be the cause of rejection. When somebody speak to us not in a friendly manner. Did you fail to give charity that you have promised? That's another cause of rejection. I mean, may not be very applicable in Kali Yuga, but that time it was applicable. If you promise a charity, you must give. Otherwise, if somehow or other you cannot give the charity, then it's a cause of depression. Could you not protect deserving candidates when they sought protection? Another cause of dejection. If somebody asked you, took shelter of you, and you could not protect them. We see Arjuna went through this situation also later on. I mean, before that, have you contacted a woman of doubtful character? When you see a woman whose character is doubtful, that is also a cause of great dejection. Have you improperly treated a deserving woman? Some woman was very deserving, and then you treated her improperly. Did you do that? Because Krishna also says, women, children, old people, they all must be protected. So, have you improperly treated a deserving woman? Have you been defeated by someone who is inferior or equal to you? That's also a cause of dejection. Somebody is inferior or equal and being defeated by them. Have you taken your meal alone without feeding elders or children? That is also cause of dejection, because usually somebody in Grihasthashram is supposed to feed the children first. We don't see parents eating and the children are like, neglected. We always see mothers, father, they first feed the children and then at the end they eat. So, have you taken your meal alone without feeding elders or children? Or the last one, have you committed some abominable or unpardonable mistake? If none of these are cause of dejection, then sometime we may commit some abominable activity. Or unpardonable means we say something or do something that cannot be forgiven. Have you done something like that? And that is why you are feeling dejected. Now, obviously, Rishi Maharaj knows in his heart what is the cause of his dejection, but he is asking all these reasons. Or and Rishi Maharaj says, finally, this is the last verse. Rishi Maharaj says, or are you feeling dejection due to losing your most intimate friend Krishna? I can find no other reason for your dejection. At the last, Rishi Maharaj says, or are you feeling dejection due to losing your most intimate friend Krishna? Or have you lost Krishna? Is that the cause of your dejection? So, with that, that's all we have for today. That's the summary of chapter 14. If there is any discussion or question, we can take now.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Pranam Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Nam Prabhu, Jai Shri Prabhupada.
Prabhuji, one question, how Balramji goes back?
Balramji also, Prabhuji, after all the Yadus, they depart. Then Krishna was sitting under a tree, and Balramji, he was sitting on the bank of the river at Prabhas Kshetra, and from his own mouth comes Anantashesh, and Balramji merges into Anantashesh and then goes back.
So it's same time or it's before Krishna?
Before Krishna.
Before.
Krishna is the last personality who remains. Balramji has left. Everybody has left. And then he's again, at last, he meets Uddhav and Maitra Muni. And then when Uddhava leaves and Maitra Muni leaves, then Krishna, then all the demigods come at the end. And Brahmaji and they all bows down to Lord Krishna and express their gratitude and offer various prayers for having come and relieving the earth from the burden of Mother Earth, relieving the burden because Krishna, one of the reason Krishna came, because Mother Earth went to Brahma and Brahma with all the devatas went to Lord Vishnu to pray for the Lord to come. And then he said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead will take birth in Yadu dynasty. Swayam Bhagwan will come. You all take birth to assist in his pastimes. So after the whole work was done and Mitra and Uddhav leaves, then they express their prayers and gratitude. And then Krishna smiles and gives them blessings. And then Krishna sat on the chariot with Daruka. And then Krishna just disappears. Basically, he goes at a speed that nobody could fathom. But apparently, for the demigods, except Brahma and Shiva, it seems like the Lord just disappeared. And then when he disappeared, he left um, a body behind him for those faithless people who don't have faith in Krishna, thinking that Krishna has departed.
And same thing happened for Balramji Prabhuji. Like he also left his
Balaram,
body.
no, he just disappeared. He didn't care about all those things. But Krishna is like, he takes care behind. There are two kind of people. Some are faithful, some are not faithful. Just like we were discussing, there is Sita and there is Maya Sita. Sita disappeared and Maya Sita remained, which was captured by Ravana. Likewise, same. Krishna remained, Krishna disappeared, and a Maya Krishna remained for people who are faithless to make them believe that yeah, Krishna was a common man.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. All right, anything else? Anyone else?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam, Prabhuji.
Prabhuji, it was very inspiring to hear when Krishna disappeared, there were so many ill symptoms, and Arjuna was also feeling very dejected. But then remembering instructions of Krishna, life came back to him. So that was very inspiring to hear. Prabhuji. Thank you.
That's what is the subject matter of next chapter, Prabhuji. When he was completely dejected, he says in the beginning only he says yes, Krishna has disappeared from the planet, and then he gained his strength by remembering what Krishna spoke to him, and then every word came back to him what Krishna spoke. And when Arjuna was depressed on the battlefield, the way he got the strength and he fought, same strength he got when he again remembered the instructions of Bhagavad Gita in this depressing situation also.
Jai Jai.
Prabhuji, one more question. Like when Pandavas, everyone are so pure devotee of the Lord, and they heard the Bhagavad Gita, like Arjuna heard the Bhagavad Gita, but still he got emotional, he got feeling dejected because Krishna depart. Like the same way, like in the material world, like when our dear one pass away, we know the soul and material body, everything, but we feel dejected. So because Arjuna heard the Bhagavad Gita from the Lord himself, and like people ask, like when these kind of questions, when the preaching happen, so when he knows the instruction, so why he got feeling dejected? So how to answer such questions, Prabhuji? Because Arjuna was also dejected when his son Abhimanyu and Ashwatthama situations. Also, he was so angry to kill Ashwatthama. So how to answer such situation? Because Bhagavad Gita tell, like we are part and parcel of the Lord. So how we should avoid such situation on a material platform, like if anyone pass away? So the answer what I have given, like Prabhuji, like because even though we know, but Arjuna was a father at that time. In case of his son passed away, all the Pandavas were crying. He is a father. Emotions will come out, even though the knowledge is real. But I just want to hear from you, Prabhuji. What should we answer in such situations if someone asks that question?
Well, Arjuna showed an example. Arjuna set an example by his own, like Krishna teaches to his own pure devotees. Although Arjuna is self-realized at all point of time, by the Lord's will, that's how we explain it. Arjuna felt dejected. But whenever we go through difficulty or somebody else goes through difficulty, they can also come out through knowledge. Because it is said that all the misery in this world is because of identifying with the temporary. That is the cause of all the misery in this world. And knowledge helps us to see an existence beyond what seemed to be existing on a different plane, which is eternal, transcendental by nature. And that is um, soothing. And that shows that actually um, everything is nature is everything temporary, and ultimately everything like what we actually want is eternal will be there. Basically, knowledge, Gita. Just like Arjuna, by remembering Krishna's words, got solace we or others in their difficult times by knowledge, by the teachings of Gita will get solace. But Arjuna cannot be covered, but by Krishna's will he can be covered. But we are covered because of actually um, the influence of the illusory energy.
So, Prabhuji, you're saying like on both the incident, like when Abhimanyu passed away, why Pandavas, lamented, and then the other situation, like when Krishna, disappeared. Um, so in both situations, it's a because Lord desire, because they are pure devotee, they can't be covered under the modes of
Yes.
material nature. But because of the Krishna's will, they acted on that platform, and then they remember the instruction again, and you know, just want to clarify, Prabhuji, if my understanding is correct or not.
Yes, your understanding is correct, Prabhuji. I mean, the Lord himself, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, appeared as covered when he came, although he's an eternal associate of the Lord and Srimati Radharani. Srila Prabhupada appeared as covered and going towards Gandhian movement, although he is described in scripture Senapati of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself was taking interest in grammar and would not like to associate with devotees. And when he would see devotees, he would argue with them, and devotees would run away from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he heard from his guru, and then uh, he started performing his real pastimes. Why he actually came is to taste um, um, the mood of Srimati Radharani's devotion.
So all these names what you take, Prabhuji, so they are also covered from the internal potency of the Lord.
Yes. Bhaktivinoda Thakur Srila Prabhupada, Maya cannot touch the pure devotees of the Lord. The pure devotees of the Lord, Krishna says, Mahatmanas Mam Partha Daivi Prakriti Ashrita. They are always under the ashraya of Daivi Prakriti. Daivi is transcendental divine potency. Mahatmas always under internal potency. And even internal potency can cover. Na? We see the associates of Brajvasis, Vrindavan, they also don't know Krishna is God. Why? Yoga Maya potency. Mother Yashoda also don't know Krishna is God. So what to speak about the devotees that are there? See, Yoga Maya covers.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. There is no karma for them. There is no Mahamaya for them. Seems they
So
seem.
always, whenever any question come on those lines, like how pure devotee, so we should understand it's a internal potency of the Lord. They are
Yes.
covered for an interim time because of the will of the Lord.
Yes.
And
Bhishmadev
Prabhuji,
said, why Pandavas have to go through so much suffering? Why Kunti Devi? Bhishmadev says, nobody can understand the plan of the Supreme, and the Supreme is standing in front of you. So Bhishmadev says that either he is Adi Narayan, the source of Narayan, and then he says nobody can understand his plans.
and Prabhuji, I was listening one lecture yesterday. It's not connected to this. Can I ask one question?
Go ahead.
Prabhuji, I was hearing Maharaj, Radha Govind Swami Maharaj, about, but he mentioned like at that time of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there was no, guru to give him the diksha. At that time, he took the diksha from Mayavadi guru. That's what I heard yesterday. So I was little confused. Like Mayavadi, he took diksha from Mayavadi, and then
Oh,
so
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu?
yes,
Sannyas he took from Mayavati.
sannyas. So
Because only a sannyasi can give sannyas, Prabhu.
at that time, like what he was telling, Maharaj was telling, like there was no sannyasi,
Yes.
for. So how to see that, Prabhu? I mean, sannyas from Mayavadi philosophy, and we Prabhupada is totally against of that philosophy.
Well,
So
it's an external, internal reason. Keshav Bharati is an eternal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was acting. Kavi Kannapur mentions, I don't remember who he is, but he has a eternal position in Krishna's pastime. But for the sake of the Leela, he was acting as a Mayava sannyasi. And then when Mahaprabhu, he went to take sannyas from Keshav Bharati Maharaj, he spoke Maharaj in his name. Maharaj, give me the name. First, Keshav Bharati Maharaj refused to give sannyas because he understood in his heart that this Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is described in Chaitanya Bhagavat. And then the barber was refusing to cut the hairs of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Nityananda Prabhu. He was there with Mahaprabhu. Then there were two more associates of the Lord. Then Mahaprabhu asked them to start Sankirtan. And when Sankirtan started, Keshav Bharati Maharaj became mad in love of God. Immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during the Sankirtan gave Keshav Bharati Maharaj love of Godhead. And then he became a pure devotee of Lord Krishna with a personal. During that Kirtan, he became so ecstatic that Keshav Bharati Maharaj, then when he was dancing, he didn't even realize that his clothes fell off and he was completely naked. Keshav Bharati Maharaj. But he became so absorbed in chanting the holy name of Krishna. He just could not see what is going on. He just went in that mood. That shows how he became, how he experienced in that instance. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Keshav Bharati Maharaj that Maharaj, you can give me the name Shri Krishna Chaitanya. And then Keshav Bharati Maharaj, your name is Shri Krishna Chaitanya. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu manifested this pastime through him, because also one has to take sannyas from a sannyasi. One has to accept a Babaji vesh from a Babaji only. And Mahaprabhu is the one who inaugurated Shuddha Bhakti. Before that, nobody was there who was there, because by that time Ishwarpuri has departed, Madhvendrapuri has departed, and nobody was there from whom he took Diksha. So he took sannyas from Keshav Bharati Maharaj. Is it all right?
So Prabhuji, sannyas happened after he got the pure love for Krishna, correct? In that Kirtan. Then only sannyas took place, sannyas ceremony took place.
First he gave him Bhakti. Mahaprabhu, even whoever he met, he could give him Shuddha Bhakti from whatever conceptions. So Mahaprabhu performed Sankirtan, and when he was chanting Sankirtan, that's it.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I got confused yesterday. So I was wondering, to ask that question. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Krishna. Okay, I think it's 11. Unless anybody has something, we can wind up here.
Prabhuji, I have one question.
Yes, Mataji.
So, Prabhuji, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, I read like Mahavishnu and Garbhodaya Vishnu and Kshirodakshaya Vishnu. They are, they still get influenced by Maya. However, Supreme Personality of Godhead is like beyond Maya itself. So, how do we understand this particular point? Like, what is the influence?
आपने कुछ पढ़ने में ना कहीं कुछ आपने मिसअंडरस्टैंड किया है, पर कर्णोदक्षाय विष्णु, गर्भोदक्षाय विष्णु, शिरोदक्षाय विष्णु, they never get influenced by Maya, Mataji.
Mm-hmm. Okay, actually I read in the
पॉइंट में भी एक बार दोबारा पढ़ेंगे ना, नहीं तो आप मुझे टेक्स्ट करो कि कौन से पॉइंट में लिखा, मैं आपको समझाऊंगा। पर वो लोग कभी माया से टच नहीं होते। भगवान या भगवान की इनकारनेशन, they are never influenced by Maya. Lord Shiva, Brahma get influenced, but none of the incarnation of Vishnu get influenced.
Okay, sure.
All right. Okay. So thank you very much. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much, all the assembled devotees, for joining. My obeisances to all of you. पंचाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। थैंक यू वेरी मच। धन्यवाद, प्रणाम, हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Dandavat pranam.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna.
Dandavat pranam,
Dandavat
Prabhuji.
pranam.
थैंक यू।
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranam.
थैंक यू प्रभु जी, माता जी, हरे कृष्ण।